Hello, everybody. Awesome. Got quite a few people joining us today. I'm going to spotlight my video. There, make it so I can see you all. Hello, hello. Awesome. Back. Nice. I'm just trying to figure all this out. I think I got it. Good. Whew. Like the Brady Bunch in here. Awesome. So this is a recovery workout. Pretty relaxing. Shouldn't be anything too crazy. What you're gonna need though is a mat, a foam roller, if you got one of those. Rolling pin works sort of as well, and a ball size of a tennis ball-ish. I'm gonna mute you if you have any questions at the moment, but I'll just for a minute. So yeah, we're not doing a whole lot of this one. This is more. You can use a tennis ball as well.
No, I gotta go find tennis.
And those are some of the tools we use, and then the rest of it's pretty much just yourself.
Well, I have to try to put you someplace where I can do this without the dog knocking you over.
No,
You're crazy.
nothing wrong with that. All right, well, I'm gonna meet you all. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. It's pretty relaxing event. All right, and mute. Nice. All right, I'm turning on lights so you guys see a little better. Oh, okay. So we're gonna start by getting warmed up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. We're gonna start with some arm, warming up some neck. Actually, we're just gonna go side to side here. What we're doing is we're just loosening up the joints, getting ready to be stretched out a little bit. We can go some forward and back, some circles. So this is all about you and whatever's comfortable for you. And so if something feels a little tight, you can stay there for an extra second. Don't feel like you have to do whatever I'm doing. Whatever feels good for you. And the other thing is, if something's a little too painful, you don't have to fully go. We don't want to be painful. We want to be comfortable. Stretching is a little uncomfortable sometimes, but so some arm circles. What we're doing is just getting blood to the muscles and the joints, kind of nourishing them. In the PT community, motion is lotion. So whenever you're moving, you are pumping good stuff in and bad stuff out. So, all right, and just some chest openers here. Oh, I've been looking forward to this all day. I did one of Adam's old lower body burners. My legs just been tired. I am so excited for this. Boom. And we'll swing through the air a little bit. While I'm here, I'm gonna do some ankle circles as well. Just kind of getting some blood to the ankles. Nothing too big. Well, I'm still doing some of the arm stuff. And because foot is very underappreciated with a lot of this stuff. Oh, as long as you're coordinating enough, stand on one leg. All right, and now we're just gonna go into some rotational. We're just gonna open up the back a little bit, getting the muscles in the back and the core warmed up. Sure, we're lifting that back heel. I know you can't see my heel, but lifting that back heel so we're not putting too much strain through the back. Awesome. Oh, my back's always been pretty tight lately. I think it's too much sitting around. And now we're going to go to side lunge. It's be more of a stretch here. We're going to go down, and we're just going to keep this other leg straight, and we should feel a stretch right through the inner thigh. You can pulse there if you want. We're just going to hold it for a second and switch to the other side. Nothing too crazy here. Whatever you're feeling, whether you feel like it's a little tight, it needs to be stretched. Hang out there for a little longer if you need. I'll go my pace, more than welcome to. This is just one part of recovery here. Working out's great, but you gotta take some time for yourself once in a while. And just do one more on this side. Take some time, let your body rest and recover and get all the stuff it actually needs. And I'm just gonna do a few squats here. I'm warming up the knees a little bit, warming up the hips a little bit more. Whew. Promise you, this is the biggest extent of the workout today. Nothing too crazy. We're just getting blood going. And on these next few squats, I'm gonna bring it up into a calf raise. I'm just getting the ankles a little bit more involved in this recovery process. Just do 2 more. Awesome. Now that we're nice and warm, we're gonna start with some foam rolling. So if you have a foam roller, something along these lines that you can kind of roll over, we're gonna start with this, and we're just gonna work our way down the body. So if you have a mat, you might want to lay that out as well. So I'm gonna start right on my back. I'm actually gonna tilt this down so you guys can see me a little bit better. Awesome. So I'm starting about the middle back. I'm just gonna roll back and forth. Foam rolling in some areas might be a little painful, so you can ease off in those areas if you want. If it's a little tender and it feels good to kind of work out some of the tissue, feel free to stay there another second. And whenever you feel like an area has had enough, you can work your way down the chain. We're going down to my lower back now, right around the lumbar spine. And right around this area, I'm gonna put my hands down behind the roller, just to take some pressure off, so it's not pushing too hard. This is designed to get you relaxed and recovered. So if anything's not relaxing, you don't have to do it. But one thing I recommend is kind of focusing on your breath here. I know the sound of my voice isn't the most relaxing thing to hear, but kind of get in your own zone. Maybe a little meditation time for you. That's what you want to use it as. However you want to use it, just kind of relax. So I'm going to work my way down to my glute area. So just like you're sitting on it, rocking back and forth. To make it a little more, I would say aggressive, but it's not aggressive, might not be the right word. I'm going to lean over to one side. I'm going to put the leg that I'm sitting on straight. I'm just going to roll back and forth. It puts a little more pressure through one side of the muscles back there. And gives a little bit more. As far as I haven't seen any animals yet. Usually we get at least a couple trying to join the workouts. And my left side is feeling pretty good, so I'm gonna roll over to the right. If you need a little more time on the left, you take it. My right side's always a little bit tighter, so I always spend a little bit more time over here. I want to play some peaceful music in the background, maybe some ocean waves, thinking you're on the beach or something. You go right ahead. I don't play anything here because I don't even know if you'd hear it, or and maybe my relaxing sound is not everybody else's relaxing sound. And I'm going to work my way down to the hamstrings. Right underneath, just below. So this is another one you can do one at a time if you want. If you want a little bit more pressure on one leg, you can take the other one off. Just like this. But I usually do 2 at a time. 2 is perfect. And bring it down to the calves now. Create the back of the legs. This has been my favorite part to foam roll lately. My calves have been on fire with all of Adam's workouts I've been doing lately. But it's a great which are great. They just need some time to recover. So here I am. Awesome. And now I'm going to take over to the front side. You need to stay on the back side a little bit more. You go right ahead. I'm going to be rolling. Sorry, the camera's this way. Be rolling right here. I'm going to be laying on the front of it, just like this. Rolling back and forth. Use my hands and some of my feet to kind of roll back and forth here. There's another place that you might need to turn from to one side and get a little bit more. I usually do. Whatever feels good for you. You can do both at once. If this hurts in general, you don't want to do it, you don't have to. This always feels really good to work out some of the muscles here. I'm gonna switch over to this side. My quad's feeling pretty nice. So I'm gonna roll over to the side. I'm gonna start working on the side of my hip. This is gonna be the most fun for everybody. It's always a pretty tender place. So I'm gonna be around the side, right here. You have a band of connective tissue going from your hip to your knee, right on the side of it. And this is what we're working out. It gets pretty painful as you get close to your knee. But it's very important to foam roll because it tends to get pretty tight. So you can cross a leg over on top, keep the leg on the foam roller straight, and we're just using this foot here to push up and down. There you go. That's great. You might have to move the foam roller down as you get closer to the knee. Just go a little more force towards them. Don't go, try not to go right over your knee, but just on that muscle in between your knee and your hip. I'm gonna switch sides. My right side's always a little bit tighter, so I'm gonna spend an extra second over here. So same thing, bottom leg is straight, your top leg is bent over, helping roll. Right here. Awesome. Once you've had enough of that, feel free to put the foam roller away for a minute and grab your ball if you have one. Adam sometimes uses a round water bottle. Just kind of roll over your feet's where we start. So you can do the standing, you can do the seated. I usually do it standing. So you're gonna put it right down on the ground, you're gonna step on it. Young step with all your force. What we're doing is just rolling out the foot. Rolling out the foot. You're on your feet all day. They don't get much love, do they? That's a neat little stick there. That's perfect. That's perfect. Resourceful there. So I usually go right through my arch to my heel, back on the outside, across my toes, kind of small circles. But as I said before, wherever your foot feels like it needs, you can hang out there for an extra second. You have a lot of little bones and little ligaments and stuff like that all through your foot that need to be worked a little bit more once in a while. So this is why I love this right here. And I'm going to switch feet. You don't have to, you do whatever you want. Ooh. All right, so I'll move on to the next one. If you need another second with the feet, you go right ahead. Next one I'm going to be working to So I'm just working on the chest a little bit. Chest doesn't get a whole lot of love with the foam rolling. So if you have your ball, we're just gonna roll it gently right across your, wherever you want, wherever your chest feeling a little tight. I usually find mine right near the shoulder. So I kind of extend my arm back to give it a little bit of a stretch. Get a little bit more of the area. You can even travel up to the neck, back and neck if you want. I usually stay right at the chest, but working that tissue a little bit. And I'm gonna switch sides here. Always push a little harder if you need a little more force, or push a little less if it's hurting a little bit. Chest really needs this after being in front of a computer all day. That's all I do now is watch my online lectures, so I'm always hunched over my computer, so I don't get enough love through here. You can work into your shoulder if you want a little bit with this. Or if you're feeling a little extra sore or tight. Whatever feels good. Give me a second. I'm just gonna do the neck real quick. Try to avoid the front of your neck. Got a lot of soft tissue there. Probably be pretty uncomfortable as well. Let's switch sides here. Awesome. Stay there if you need for another second. I'm gonna start getting some stretching. Added a new one to the list today. Should be pretty fun. Give the upper body a little love. So I'm gonna be standing. I'm gonna face the camera a little bit more. So I'm gonna be standing with the feet apart just a little bit. It's about a little wider than your hips. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna rock back and forth, just like this. We're gonna bring. Don't force the knee to the ground. We're just gonna see how far it can go with a little bit of tension. Don't push it. What we're doing is just open up the hips a little bit. Give them a little stretch to them, warm them up a bit for this next stretch about to come. This is where it's really important to start focusing on the breath. You have really, as I mentioned in most of my classes, you have a really strong connection between your breath and your mind and your muscles. So as you exhale, your muscles tend to relax a little bit more. So as you notice, I've been getting deeper with each one of these. As I kind of go through it, my tissues are starting to loosen up. And on your next rollover, I'm gonna bring the heel to the back of the knee. We're gonna create a couple triangles here. Boom. Just like that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna be stretching our glute a little bit. So we're gonna have our hands right in front of our knees. And we're just gonna focus on the breath. And when you exhale, we're gonna drop the chest towards the knee. We're gonna hold that position for a few breaths. You should feel it right like where you're sitting a little bit. That's where you should feel the stretch. All right, I'm just turning so I can see you guys. Boom. Just like that. So I'm coming right over that knee. My chest is right over that knee. You can come out of it if you need. Try some different positions. You need to go a little higher up. Might feel a better stretch, or a little lower down. Might be a little bit better. Whatever muscles are tight for you. One more breath. Change it up. So I'm gonna come back to semi-seating, right, keeping the legs how they are. I'm just gonna drop my forearm to the ground. So I'm gonna be back just like this. So with this one, to make the stretch a little bit harder, or feel it more, we're gonna move the elbow backwards. Make it easier, we're gonna move the elbow forwards. So I'm gonna be back. We should feel the stretches in the front of the hips. What we're gonna do, we're gonna exhale and we're gonna arch the back a little bit and kind of push the hip forward. And if you're not feeling it, just bring the elbow back a little bit more. Once you feel a little bit of stretch, we're gonna bring the arm overhead. And a couple breaths right here. And on the next breath, I'm gonna reach my arm right to the ground. Just reaching out as far as I can. Just feel a stretch right through the back. And one more breath. Back to sitting. Bring my knees right up. And we got the left side all stretched out. We're gonna rock over to the other side, just like before. Just like this. And we're gonna lean over that front knee, keeping the chest right over. So as you exhale, lower yourself to the ground. You might notice that one side's a little bit tighter here. That's all right. Most of us have one side that's a little bit tighter. Just gonna work on that side a little bit more. Even move side to side if you need to a little bit here, just nice and gently. And my next breath, I'm gonna bring it right back. Sitting. Bring that knee back, the heel right back on that knee. I'm gonna lean back with my forearm, drop it down. I'm gonna stretch the other hip. Bring my forearm back a little bit more, arch the lower back, and you should feel a little bit of stretch right through the front of the hip. Once you feel that stretch, you should take the arm, just rest it right over it. And on my next exhale, I'm going to drop my chest to the ground and reach out as far as I can. And one more breath here for me. And slowly bring back to sitting. And you hang there for another second, you go right ahead. Whatever feels good for you. So I got a new one to try today. I'm gonna work that, stretch out the upper body a little bit. So first we're gonna start by laying right on our back. Need a little bit of space for this one, not a whole lot. And we're just gonna reach up right here, fingertips together. What we're gonna do is we're gonna roll onto one side. We're gonna draw the top arm right back over our arm, just like we're pulling the bow back, reaching right across, keeping the knees stacked on one another. If you need, you can bring the top leg forward a little bit more to keep your balance. And from this position, we're gonna hold this, and we're just gonna make a circle. So I can make circles in the sand. Bring it down. Our hand we just reached out with, bring it down and around, trying to keep it in contact with the floor. Rolling it back in front of us to meet our other hand up on top and back to where it started on the other side. Should feel a nice stretch through some of the shoulder, some of the chest. I'm doing another circle here. If you feel like there's any part that's in particular pretty tight, you can hang out there for a second, move back and forth on it. Did this one earlier and I actually noticed like an inch difference in my arm length just from this right here. Just doing some circles, slow circles. Oh, I'm pretty tight there. So I'm gonna hold it there for a second and get some. Breathing in. And I'm doing one more circle here. So I'm gonna bring my hand back to where it started and get back into that position on my back with the knees up. Ah, notice my got a little bit of a difference there in my hands. And we're gonna go the other way now. So roll onto our other side, stack the knees, stack the hips. If you need to bring one leg over on top to help support you, you can do that. And we're just gonna bring it back, just like we're drawing a bow, nice and slow, right across to the other side. Feel a nice stretch through a little bit of our back. And I'm gonna start with the circles again. Nice and slow with these. Reaching out as far as we can. And again, if you feel a little tight in one area in particular, hang out there for a second. Ooh. And keep going. Should do about 3 circles here. If you need more, you do more. If you're feeling good, you don't have to do 3. I'm gonna bring my hand right back to the other one. Nice and slow. And come back to that lying position. Oh, that felt good. All right. Let me start a little bit of the yoga to relax us a little bit more and end with. We're gonna start right on our hands and knees. Right on our hands and knees. We're just gonna start with just some cat cow. On the inhale, we're gonna arch our back, bring our neck up, and on exhale, we're gonna push right through. Bringing the back up as high as we can, getting a nice stretch to the spine. And down. And on exhale. One more time. This next one is going to stretch out our shoulders a little bit more. So what we're going to do, and this keeping the same position, we're going to bring the hands up, and we're going to drop them right through. We're going to thread the needle. We're going to drop the shoulder as far as we can to the ground, drop the head down, and hold this position. Should feel a little bit of stretch right through the middle of the back, right in between the scapula. And one more breath, I'm going to bring it back up. And I'm going to do the other side. I'll bring this hand up as high as we can. And thread it right through. Drop the shoulder as far as you can to the ground. Rest the head. Feel a nice stretch. And my next breath, I'm going to bring it up. Oh. Oh. And I'm gonna bring it back into child's pose. Spreading the knees a little bit. We're just gonna sit on the heels, pushing the upper body, kind of rock side to side here. And then on the next breath, I'm gonna push forward into a plank and then into downward dog. Right up, tucking the toes back under, pushing up and into a nice V position. Nice and strong through the upper body. We're gonna be nice and soft through the lower body. So we can kind of pedal our legs here. Get a nice stretch for the calf going. Just get some ankle motion. Nice soft knees. A few more seconds in that position. And I'm gonna bring it back down to lay on right on my stomach. I'm gonna push right up into upward dog. Stretching out the back a little bit, some of the front. I'm gonna push it, drop my stomach right to the ground. I'm gonna push right back on into child's pose. Sitting right on those ankles, right on the heels. Relax in the back. Put your head on the ground if you want. And now I'm gonna turn it onto my back again. It's gonna be our couple finishers here. So the next pose is happy baby. There's a couple different ways you can do it. So we're gonna roll right on our back. We're gonna squeeze the knees into us. It's for a mild, and we're just gonna roll back and forth. This is for a mild stretch here. Another one we can do if we want a little bit more, we're gonna grab the toes, right below the toes, and we're just gonna pull down to our chest. Just feel a little bit of stretch to the front of our hip, and a nice stretch to our lumbar spine. You can kind of even roll it out back side to side, back and forth. So focused on that breath. Whenever you feel like you've had enough, we're just gonna slowly drop our legs right to the mat, drop our arms down, and just appreciate some Kavasana. Focus on your breath, just fully relaxed here. You can continue to focus on your breath. Whenever you feel like you're ready to be present, you join again. Stay there as long as you need. Very relaxing. Sure, it's a long day and you deserved it. I'm gonna start unmuting everybody. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining. I hope you got a nice little stretch. Feeling a little more loose than you did before you started. And that was my half an hour recovery workout.
Thanks, Noah.
Thank you.
Of
Thanks,
course.
Noah.
Thanks for joining us. You all have a great night, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.